Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Chaos Creates. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm here to share with you a layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and today I'm going to be using a cut file, which is the layered flower, and this was from a request by a Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group member asking how to use this cut file, like has anyone used it? So I really wanted to give an example of how I used it here. So I've gone ahead and cut this cut file out 3 times on some white cardstock. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my Distress Oxides with a makeup brush just to get that color down on these different pieces that make up the layered flower. So I've got a whole range of Distress Oxides. I don't have them on hand right now, but I will leave them in the description below. I'll have them listed there in terms of the colors that I used. I have a Distress Oxide chart, so I went through and checked in on some of the colors based on the Paige Evans Bungalow Lane collection, and so that's the collection that I'll be using today. But this layout is going to be mainly based around these beautiful layered flowers. So yes, I'm just going ahead and, creating color on those. I don't show you all of this, but this is my general process. Again, it's not very neat. I'm just going ahead and really just, getting the color down there with those makeup brushes. It works really well. I really love doing this technique. It does work easier if you leave the cut file on your mat because then you're not sort of chasing around these little pieces. They're all kind of contained within the mat, and you can sort of work on them there and they hold their place. So I highly recommend leaving them on the mat if you want to do this technique. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. So I've used a couple of colors there. Now you can see I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of, dimension with these. So I've got some foam here. I've just got a spoon and I'm just going around and sort of, creating a little bit of depth, giving it a little bit of, dimension, just curling up the edges with the spoon there. And I'm going to do that across the flowers as well as these leaves. And yeah, this was a really fun one to make. I really enjoyed this cut file. You don't have to be too accurate with it. I literally just stuck everything down together. I didn't put them in the same, I put them in the same order. I didn't certainly line anything up or, they look great. Just those different colors, going throughout those florals. So as you can see, there are my floral elements there. Now I'm going to pull out my photo. So I have this photo of Sebastian and I, just a quick selfie. We're at what's called Moomba here in Melbourne, and we're on a ferris wheel. So it's just like a big carnival along the Yarra River here in Melbourne. And it was such a beautiful day. We just went down there and enjoyed some time just hanging out, playing some games, going on some rides, watching some of the skiing. They have some really high-class sort of water skiing events. It was so fun. So I have pulled out this beautiful paper from Bungalow Lane, and I'm just going to use that. I've obviously used it for something else on another layout, but it's going to make the perfect border here. I'm going to go ahead and trim down my white cardstock to 11 by 11 inches. So I'll cut an inch off 2 of the sides. I'm going to go ahead and rough up the edges here and start to create my layout. But I will let you know that I'll leave links below for both the Facebook group where you can request if people have used different cut files. If you've got a cut file in mind, please go ahead and kind of ask, has anyone used this? I know Jody posted a beautiful layout that she'd created using these florals, but I thought I'd go ahead and try and get a different take on how these florals can be used. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and put in those requests if there's something you're interested in using. Now, I did want to stick with these kind of colors and I couldn't find anything to mat my photo on, so I decided to use this branding strip here, and I'm just going to place a part of the branding strip at the top and bottom, and then I'm going to come up in with some other scrap pieces that I can fit down the side. It is a slightly different color, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted a bit of a border around my photo, so I'm going ahead and doing that. I will also leave links to this specific cut file. And don't forget that Confessions of a Paper Addict now has its own website. I think the Etsy store may still be open, but please go ahead and check out the actual Confessions of a Paper Addict site, because the prices are cheaper. Etsy has quite a high expense, so yeah, make sure you go and check out that. Now I've got all of my floral elements there. I decided it needs a little bit more on the background, so I'm coming in with, I think I've got tattered rose and saltwater taffy, and I'm just using a stencil from Vicky Booten just to create a little bit of interest in the background. And then I'm laying out my floral pieces. I do decide that I need some splatters, so I've got this same saltwater taffy in a spray, so I'm just going to go ahead and splatter that around, just to create a little bit more interest. Dab it up with some paper towel, and then I'm going to stick my photo down on a slight angle, and then position my florals. Now, I don't end up adding a lot to this layout. I feel like I really wanted to make those florals stand out. I've added a few more sort of frond pieces around the florals, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out these puffy kind of thicker titles. I'm trying to work out what will work, but I decide on this sweet thing. Like I said, it was a beautiful day, sunny, gorgeous. So yeah, it was a very sweet, a sweet thing to happen. So I'm just going ahead and working out what else I can put on the page. And I pull out this tab or this tag, and I stick that down on those florals. And then I decide I'm going to bring in these buttons and create a little bit more interest in the center of the flowers. I didn't have all the same, but that was fine. They're very similar buttons. So I'm going to place those in the center. And then I'm coming into these, I guess they're 1 by 1 inch kind of papers. And I'm going to pull out this camera. I will end up fussy cutting that because I didn't want the square element. I pull off that other floral. I thought the florals that I just created were enough. And so I'm going to go ahead and, fussy cut this camera, and I will place that in that top cluster. And I think that's about it. Like, I'm really, again, this layout just came together so easily. I loved using the Distress Oxide. It gives it a really great look. And so I'm just going to stick everything down here with some wet adhesive. This is the art glitter glue. And I'm just going to pop up this camera just to give it a bit of dimension and stick that down there. And yeah, I think I'm almost complete for this layout. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to add some gold splatters here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. I will leave you with some close-ups at the end. But thanks again. Bye.